Hey, welcome. So let's jump right in. Picture a preschool or kindergarten classroom. What do you see? I bet for a lot of you, it's kids with blocks, maybe playing dress up or just having a blast in a sand pit. It looks like a ton of fun, right? But let's be honest, it also brings up a pretty big question.
And that's a totally fair question that parents and even some educators wonder about. When you don't see the usual worksheets or formal lessons, it's easy to think, is anything really sinking in? It can definitely look like a bit of unstructured chaos. But today, we're going to pull back the curtain on what's actually happening. Because what might look like just play is, believe it or not, one of the most powerful and scientifically backed ways that young children learn. This isn't just random fun. We're talking about a very deliberate educational strategy that taps right into a child's natural instincts.
So, what is this thing really? Let's get a proper definition on the table, because it's so important to understand that this is not about letting kids run wild. It's a carefully thought out approach, and it has some pretty deep roots in educational theory.
Okay, here's the absolute key. The learning is driven by the child's own curiosity. So instead of a teacher standing up front, just delivering facts, the entire classroom environment is designed to spark a kid's desire to explore and discover things for themselves, all through play.
And this isn't some new age fad, not at all. This whole idea comes from the giants of developmental psychology, guys like Piaget and Vygotsky. They figured out a long time ago that kids aren't just empty buckets you pour knowledge into. Nope. They actually build their own understanding by getting their hands dirty, engaging with the world, and interacting with each other.
All right, so you're probably thinking, if it's not just random chaos, then what's the structure? What is the teacher actually doing all day? Great questions. Let's break down the mechanics behind all the fun. To pull this off, teachers have a whole toolkit of strategies they use. We're going to peek inside that toolkit and look at just a few of the big ones to see how they create these really purposeful play experiences.
First up, a classroom is usually set up with what are called learning centers. And you should really think of these as mini laboratories. That block area, it's not just for stacking. It's a physics lab where kids are exploring gravity and balance. The cozy reading nook is a gateway to literacy. And the art station is a workshop for building creativity and those fine motor skills they'll need for writing.
Now this part is absolutely crucial. The teacher is anything but passive. They get involved in what's called guided play. So they might join a group of kids building a city and ask, "Whoa, what do you think will happen if we make that tower even taller?" Or, how can we work together to get this bridge to stay up? They're not giving answers. They're asking questions that push the learning deeper.
And to tie it all together, everything is often united under one big, fun theme. So, say the theme is community helpers. You'll see kids pretending to be doctors in one corner, they'll be counting little toy ambulances at the math station, and maybe reading books about firefighters in the reading nook. It makes the whole experience so rich and immersive.
And look at this, because this is where you really see the hidden genius. Even the toys are chosen with a purpose. Those colorful beads? They're teaching one-to-one correspondence, a core math skill. That squishy Play-Doh? It's building the hand strength kids need to hold a pencil. Everything you see here is a carefully selected tool with a job to do.
So we've covered the what and the how, but now we get to the most important question of all. Why does this matter? What's the payoff? What are the actual benefits of this approach?
Well, the research on this is just wow. It's incredibly compelling, and it points to a whole range of powerful, long-term benefits. We're going to focus on 7 of the biggest ones right now.
This slide really says it all. The true power of play is that it supports the whole child. You see those gears in the head? That's cognitive growth. That's problem-solving skills firing up when they figure out why their block tower keeps falling. And the little figures on the torso? That's social and emotional development. That's learning to cooperate, share, and understand someone else's feelings when you're all trying to play a game together. And that rocket, that's creativity and motivation just taking off because the learning is genuinely fun and it's led by them. So you see, it's not about choosing academics or play. It's about realizing that play is the best engine we have for all-around development.
So, let's circle all the way back to where we started. Back to that big question. Are kids really learning anything when they're just playing? I think we can land on a pretty powerful final thought here.
This, right here, is the ultimate takeaway. Play-based learning is not the absence of education. It's a highly sophisticated form of it. It is absolutely intentional, it is structured, and it is 100% purposeful. It's just brilliantly disguised as fun.
And that leaves all of us with a really interesting question to think about, one that goes way beyond the classroom. For our kids, for our colleagues, even for ourselves, how can we bring a little more of this purposeful, engaging, and joyful spirit into the way we all learn? Thanks so much for tuning in.